Hello, this is Mr. Molo for lesson 3-2, solving inequalities by adding or subtracting. So like I said from the last video, this is going to be a repeat lesson basically from chapter 2. We're just adding or subtracting, and the only difference is we have an inequality instead of an equal sign. So again, if it says -2, we're going to add 2. It says +7, we're going to subtract 7. And then we're going to graph it, and remember that we're not having an equal sign. We're having an inequality sign. So like for this one, it says +12, so I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. Subtract 12, and I end up with x is less than 8. Alright, and then I have to graph these problems. So I usually, when I graph, I put two numbers on there. I put 0 and I put 8. Those are the only two numbers I put. So here's my 0. There's my 8. Alright, I'm going to have an open circle at 8 since it's not less than or equal to. So there's my open circle, and I'm graphing everything less than 8. So I'm going to shade everything to the left. So like 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, all the negatives. So everything less than 8. Same thing here with this blue problem. I have a -5, so I'm going to add 5. Add 5 to the other side. And I end up with D is greater than -2. Again, we can use a calculator on this section, so doing some of this math, as long as we're checking in the calculator, should be fine. Again, I'm only going to put two signs on there, or two numbers on there, 0 and there's my -2. Again, I just have an open circle because it's just greater than, not greater than or equal to. And everything greater than -2 is like -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All those numbers there, so I'm going to have everything going to the right. Alright, here, kind of the same thing. Doesn't make a difference that it's a decimal now. It says -0.3, so I'm going to add 0.3. Add 0.3. So now I have 1.2 is greater than or equal to n. Okay, again, doesn't matter which way I do it, if I put n first or n second. I like to have n first, so I'm just going to rewrite it here. And I'm looking at the fact that n is being pointed to, so I'm going to do the same thing. So these two inequalities mean the same thing. So 1.2 is greater than or equal to n, or n is less than or equal to 1.2. So again, there's my 0. This time I'll put 3 numbers on there, just so I can kind of see where 1.2 is a little more accurately. So I'm going to put 0, 1, and 2. 1.2 is probably going to be about right there. I'm going to do a filled in circle, since it's equal to, and I want everything less than 1.2, so I'm going to go to the left and shade everything less than 1.2. Okay, sometimes when I would use this, if we're talking about like a restaurant, has room for 120 customers. One night there are 72 customers dining. Write and solve the inequality to show how many more people can come to the restaurant. Okay, you want to see, especially with max capacity, same thing with like elevators or even like classrooms, we can't have more than so many people in there. Okay, so we know right now there's 72 customers, and at most it can seat is 120. So we can't go past 120. So that's why we're going to have a less than or equal to sign, because 120 is the maximum. So we can have at most 48 people more in the restaurant. Okay, 47, 46, all those numbers are good. Just can't have a number like 49. That's going to be too much. Okay, kind of the same thing here. Jessica makes overtime pay when she works more than 40 hours a week. So far she's worked 29 hours. She will continue to work H hours this week. Write and solve and graph and inequality to show the values of H that will allow Jessica to earn overtime pay. Okay, so she wants to make more money. She wants to make that overtime pay. So right now she's at H hours, and it needs to be plus 29. We need to figure out how many more hours. So we're going to need to add, because it's more, not less. Okay, so H plus 29. And then we have our 40. Okay, so is this going to be a greater than or a less than sign, or what do we need to do? Okay, So she will continue to work 8 hours this week. So she wants to work overtime. So we want this to be more than 40 hours a week, okay? Can't be equal to, because she wants to get that overtime pay. So her working 40 hours doesn't do anything. She needs to work more than 40 hours, okay? So it says plus 29, so I'm going to subtract 29. So it's going to end up being H has to be more than 11. So she has to work more than 11 hours to get this overtime, okay? So again, I'm going to put 0 on the board here. And we'll just say this is 11. So I'm going to have an open circle here. And then she needs to work more than 11 hours to get that overtime pay. And so it would be 11, 12, 13, all those numbers there would be okay in order for her to get overtime pay.